What happens when you split a signal into two and then join them back together, sometimes with slight differences? Did you say delay, chorus, flange, vibrato? Because really, we could be talking about any of those. Because as Cosmodio Instruments writes in the manual for their new Splinter Twin pedal, quote, time modulation and short delay lines are the basic building blocks of all of those effects. So let's check out the Cosmodio Instruments Splinter Twin. Welcome to Get Offset. My name is Emily and you have really great taste in guitars. Cosmodio Instruments is sponsoring this video, but thoughts and opinions are all mine. Ears are all yours though. The Splinter Twin is described by Cosmodio as a time modulation workstation, not a multi-effect. It promises to provide all kinds of fun effects, including, as the middle knob suggests, echo, doubling, chorus, and flange. There is genuinely a lot to get through, so please lean on timestamps for specific sounds, which you can find alongside product and affiliate links in the video description. I don't want to overwhelm you with all the controls at once, especially the toggles, so I'm going to try to lead you through this pedal one or two things at a time. A quick FYI before I get started, I'm using the Supro Airwave amp mic'd up with a Sennheiser E906. My guitar is a custom build by Nicole Alosinac, which is loaded with Seymour Duncan custom shop pickups. The first controls we're going to focus on are blend in the upper left, which is set to 0, and blend can range from 100% dry to 100% wet. Volume is the small knob in the middle, that's set to around 1 o'clock, and preamp, the small knob on the right, is all the way down. Here's my clean tone. And with the pedal engaged. Obviously that wasn't too different, and in case you didn't guess, I'm going to focus on the preamp sound first. The preamp knob sets the gain of the analog soft clipping preamp. All the way down, as it is now, is pristinely clean with maximum headroom. Let's turn it up. I'll do my best to even out the volume, but in post-production we may need to balance those audio levels out for maximum viewing pleasure. Actually a really nice overdriven sound, and wow, there's a lot of gain on tap on this pedal. I mean, my volume is at about 9 and preamp is all the way up. And that's about unity gain, so I guess technically you could use this as a boost also. That's nuts. But that's not why you're here. That's not why any of us are here. I'm pretty sure nobody's going to buy this pedal just to use it as an overdrive, but I would respect it. So I'm going to put preamp back to noon, volume around 10:30, 11 o'clock, and blend is going to go to about 10 o'clock while we talk about the time knob. Time controls the length of the delay from no delay at all to 340 milliseconds of delay. And unlike most time knobs, this one isn't linear. The entire first half of the knob is very short delay times, which you need for chorus, flange, etc. It won't sound like actual delay, which we'll cover those sounds later, until you get to 3 o'clock where the echo label starts. And these settings will get us a nice slapback sound. turning down the time knob, some gets us a doubling sound, as the labeling implies. I'm going to turn blend back up to noon for this, and we're going to get some instant Les Paul sounds, by which I mean the person. Well, I tried. And let's hear that maximum delay time really quickly. That's actually a great time to look at feedback, which is the number of repeats. I'm going to turn that to 11 o'clock or just under. This is actually also the perfect time to introduce the small knob on the left, dark, and that filters the wet signal. Turning it up cuts some of the highs. So first we're going to hear it at noon, which should emulate the quote classic high-end roll-off of analog BBD delays. We can also hear that knob cranked, where we'll start to hear the repeats sort of smear together. I really enjoy the character of this delay, and that bodes well for the rest of the pedal. But one last thing, the second foot switch is called 2x feedback. What it does is it doubles the amount of feedback we've set via the feedback knob, which makes sense. It's an apt name. You tap to latch it, otherwise it's a momentary hold. So let's try that out. I had to turn that down because it was getting too cool. And before I forget, I'll have a dedicated link to purchase this pedal in the video description, but I will also have several general affiliate links. If you click on those links and buy anything at all, a capo, guitar picks, earplugs, a small portion of that sale gets shared with me. Clicking those links before you make a purchase is a great way to support this channel doing things that, let's be honest with ourselves and each other, we were probably going to do anyway. Time to get into the fun stuff. I've dropped dark, feedback, and time to 0 once again while we turn this into a phase offset pedal. For this, we're going to need to talk about this little toggle on the left there. Those are 3 voice settings. So far we've had it in the middle, which is the plus sign. That means our wet signal has been an exact copy of our dry. In this position, the wet signal inverts relative to the dry signal. What you most immediately heard was a massive volume drop. Phase inversion will do that. But when we start to nudge the time up, we can get some super cool comb filter sounds, giving the impression of out of phase pickups. This is essentially a fixed negative flanging sound, which is simple but effective. And it sounds really cool when you crank the preamp. Now I want to introduce mod speed and depth by creating a chorus sound. We're going to set the voice toggle back to the middle, modulation speed, which sets the speed of the LFO anywhere between 0.017 hertz, which will take a full minute to complete a cycle, to 100 hertz, which is quite fast. We're going to set that to noon. Mod depth controls how far the LFO is going to move from that center delay line. We'll put that to 2, but I think that's more of a personal preference. Now we're going to put time into that chorus range, which starts at about 9 o'clock. Lastly, the toggle on the right mod shape is in the middle, but we'll experiment with that later. Presently it's set to random movement, which Cosmodio says will give you a more natural chorus sound because though we guitarists will, we most associate chorus with an effect pedal, chorusing, like phasing, occurs in completely acoustic music too. Notably, you'll hear it in orchestras and stuff. So it's cool that they have something that's a little bit different than most chorus pedals, which typically just have standard waveforms. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Now let's turn our attention again to the voice knob. So far we've heard it in positive and negative, but flipping the toggle up engages multi-tap, which adds a second delayed voice that is always randomly moving with its own LFO, though that LFO loosely follows the speed and depth of the primary LFO. Now I've sent the voice back to the middle and I've flipped the mod shape toggle up so we can hear the chorus with a sine wave. By the way, toggle down is technically an alt. You can choose between 3 additional shapes if you open up the back of the pedal. Those shapes are sample and hold, reverse sawtooth, which is the default, and standard sawtooth. But let's hear it with sine wave. Turn that down a little bit. We can adjust time to taste as well. I've just realized that I don't think I've ever had a pedal, like a chorus pedal, where I can adjust that time offset. That's, as far as I know, in every chorus pedal I've ever had, that's just been a set thing you can't change. Maybe it's a bias switch that you're not supposed to touch in the middle, but I don't know. That's really, really neat. And we're gonna have to move on. I could play with this chorus all day, but I want to let you know, with these settings, the chorus sound, if you crank the blend to 100% wet, we get a vibrato effect because chorus is vibrato with a dry signal. That's why a lot of chorus pedals are dual chorus and vibrato, actually. I'm not the biggest vibrato fan, admittedly, so that's enough of that. Flanger time. We're going to keep blend at noon, voice in the middle, mod shape up in the sine position, but now we're going to turn time all the way down, move feedback to noon, and crank the modulation depth. Time all the way down, that's definitely a flanger, but we can creep the time up to make it more intense and rocket shippy. That's the technical term. And let's crank the preamp because why not? And we talked about negative flanging when we did the phase offset, but I didn't actually showcase any motion. So since I promised we would hear it, I'm going to drop the time to 0 and set voice to negative. The vibe is very phaser meets flanger meets tremolo, and according to the manual, what's happening here is that our dry and wet signals are heavily flanging until they cross through the 0 point and cancel each other out. I think that's called phase cancellation. Let me know if I'm wrong in the comments. Well, that got us through a lot of the basics, but there is some wild stuff from here. I'll show you one or maybe two more, probably just one more, which is from the Splinter Twins manual. It's called Limbo, and it was inspired by the behavior of vintage tape echo machines with boosted preamp levels. Blend is at noon, as is dark and mod speed. Both toggles are in the middle, preamp is cranked, mod depth is all the way down, feedback at 2, and time is somewhere in the echo territory. Oh, and 2x feedback is on. happening here is that during pauses in my playing, we're hearing self-oscillation, but when I dig back in, the cycling sounds are being pushed out of the feedback loop and replaced with new ones. It's basically self-oscillation for people who hate self-oscillation. Well, that is the Splinter Twin at a glance. The manual has a ton of other recommended presets that I just couldn't get to for the sake of time, but I have to say that I especially love this as a delay, chorus, comb filter, and for that limbo sound. The only thing is I deeply wish that it had presets or MIDI, even though I don't use MIDI, because I think that would make it easier to find the sounds that I like and use it for different things throughout a show. But honestly, it's a really inventive, great sounding take on modulation, so kudos to Cosmodio. If you liked this video, check out the one on the screen featuring another lovely pedal from Cosmodio, the Glitch Witch Auto-Modulated Fuzz. Please don't forget about the affiliate links in the video description, but if you want to support this channel without buying things, you can tip me on this video via the Say Thanks button below. Please like, comment, subscribe, and all that. Those are great and free ways to support this channel as well. Thanks for watching, thanks for understanding. Until next time, my name is Emily. Goodbye.